is False Start, a college football podcast for everyone and everyone else. I'm your host, John Buhler, lead writer for Fansided. I'm joined today by a man who has more brains than Puka Nakua the Scarecrow, who has more courage than Notre Dame the Cowardly Lion, and who has more heart than all those five stars that wish they could have played for Butch Jones in Knoxville, but they had other things they needed to do. We will be talking about Butch Jones today at some point later on, but Cody Williams, content director, fanside.com, is feeling a little bit better. I'm back on the program. This is going to be great. How are you?
I'm feeling a little bit better. I sound a little bit better. Thanks everyone for putting up with me fighting for my life on the last episode. Glad to be back with you again, man. I'm doing good. I'm on the East Coast, as you can see by not being at my normal setup.
Yeah, we're in the same time zone. We're touching each other's states. It's crazy right now.
100%, man. We're getting after it. Shouts out to, Blue Ridge, Georgia, and Murphy, North Carolina, touching one another.
Hell yeah, brother. That's gross. But I appreciate you hanging out the fourth there on Sunday for a Monday show. We were doing early Bueller family Christmas because my sister and brother-in-law are going to be spending Christmas up in my brother-in-law's native Massachusetts near the Cape. So we had to go do all that. I'll touch on that on local scouting report to end the show. Cody went to a bachelor party and he's been back and now he's gone again. It's been absolutely wild. And
I'm
also
jet setting, man. Just jet
yes.
setting out here.
Oh, yeah. And shout out to all the starters out there listening to our stuff on Spotify. Cody, you could probably share a little bit more about that if you want to.
Yeah, 100%. So I shared it with Bueller. We got our Spotify creator wrap today. 933% growth in total new audience. Absurd. Like just absurd. So if you're listening on Spotify, thanks, man. Like truly thanks from the bottom of our hearts. Like we're two bozos that do a podcast together, man. We've said it before, like our goal in this podcast is to make one another laugh, but we also like really love this sport and like enjoy sharing the community of talking about this sport with people. So we really appreciate that you've allowed us to grow in 2025 in the way we have.
Yeah, thank you, starters. Thank you for liking, subscribing, hitting the show. Do everything whatever you can. I appreciate this. This has not been the easiest year working at Fanside or Minute Media. I'll tell you that much.
No.
It's been challenging.
No matter what branch you're in, like I mean, you obviously switch, branches, and that's been its own challenge. Staying on .com has not a challenge by any stretch of the imagination either. So it's a lot of challenges around.
No, but we got a holiday schedule here kind of coming up. So Cody and I are doing the show to lead up to the first round of the playoff. We'll be coming to you semi-live after or in and around whenever we decide it's time to stop the count.
After ish.
For after Oregon, JMU there on Saturday night. Then we'll be doing. I got the tabs are going nuts. Then we're going to be doing our show on Sunday, which is going to be a bad Santa themed because we thought that deserves this on the shortest day of the year.
100%.
Then we're going to be doing a Christmas episode a little bit later. We'll have that out there probably Christmas Eve. Why not? And then we'll kind of get back to the regular show, I guess, again on Sunday for Monday.
Yeah. Well, it's we're still bringing the content through the holidays. We don't stop, and again. 933%. We want to keep it growing. So, we're going to keep giving the content. It's going to be dumb. Our Christmas shows are the dumbest things we do, and I love it so much.
It's the best. And let's keep it 100% here. We've obviously false started. So our first topic has put zero prep into it, like Tony Romo or Puka Nakua. Either way, it's not good. We're gonna do some talk point to me here. There's been probably let's focus on the quarterbacks that are tied to it as well. Let's talk about Dylan Raiola. Let's talk about Aaron Philo. Let's talk about DJ Lagway, Brendan Sorsby, and if you want to throw Sam Leavitt in there, I think that probably is a good fight to work with.
Yeah, and I do want to mention one other name that we don't have enough discussion of, but Drew Mestamaker seems like he's entering the transfer portal, and I think he's going to be a guy. So that's someone to watch.
He may follow Eric Morris to Oklahoma State, but we'll see what happens there.
Which would be huge in Stillwater. Let's be very clear, considering they were starting dudes that had no business playing college quarterback in the FBS this year.
And let's make one thing clear. The portal does not officially open until January 2nd. So anybody that is put out there on 247sports.com is basically announcing like their intentions to do it. It's mostly quarterback driven at this time. Nick Marsh is planning to leave Michigan State. That's going to be a guy in the receivers market. We'll see what the hell happens at Auburn and everything else that comes with that here.
Yeah.
But let's start with Raiola, man. Let's go there.
100%. We got to. His seventh is it six school in 7 years or seven school in 6 years, which I can't remember what the number is, which way those go. But dude's the early front runner for the Bear Alexander award.
You could go check out Brooks Austin's account there on X. He'll tell you how many schools there are.
Yeah,
Dude,
100%.
like I was saying, like Dylan Raiola needs to go to the most impressionable school for impressionables, which is Oregon.
Hmm.
But I don't think that that's going to happen. So maybe he'll go to like the second because Mount Impressionable, we've talked about this is Oregon, A&M, Tennessee, and Miami. If
Hmm.
there's like a smaller one, the Mount Kilimanjaro of impressionables, he might go to Louisville. That might actually be good.
I would actually, I mean, just knowing that our feelings on Joey Jaguar, Tennessee would not be a bad landing spot, man.
No,
And I think it would be interesting to see how it affects his NFL future because like Nebraska's shortcomings were not Dylan Raiola based. Dylan Raiola
no.
is like we can make fun of him because he deserves it, but like he's a good football player and a good quarterback.
Yeah, I think the fact that his brother decommitted, his uncle got fired, and then this has really been the one thing that like Matt Rule could stick his flag in. And obviously, once Raiola like hurt himself, so Dakota Gregory, another thing in the chat, saying like, does he have to go tear his ACL like Mahomes?
Yeah,
And I
right.
think I think I think he already did. But that's okay.
It's all good.
I do think Tennessee is interesting because I think Merlinger hit the portal, and then it's probably going to be either Jaguar again, maybe, but he might
Mhm.
be out of eligibility, so it might be George McIntyre the third there.
Yeah, which I mean, George McIntyre the third has a cannon. Like, dude's got an absolute missile attached to his shoulder, but he also doesn't know. He's like very Joe Milton-esque in like early Joe Milton at Michigan, not in Joe Milton at Tennessee, where he like refined it a little bit. Like it's a little scary.
It's a little scary. He's not going to go to Lubbock because there might be a restraining order, but we also may know who may be going to Lubbock, and that would be Cincinnati Bearcats quarterback Brennan Sorsby. His girlfriend has transferred to the volleyball program there in Lubbock. I think if Sorsby goes to Texas Tech, that's massive for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, if if Texas Tech had Brendan Sorsby right now, I might be picking them to win a national championship.
Yeah, they would certainly be in the same rung as some of the other teams. We'll talk about that here later once I reveal
Yeah,
my list here. But he did a lot for Cincinnati, a team that doesn't have a whole hell of a lot of NFL talent outside of him and Dante
also have a
Corleone.
bad coach too. So there's
Yeah,
that.
but yeah, Sorsby, I think to Texas Tech would be interesting.
Mhm.
Lagway leaving Florida. Apparently, he and John Summerall went together like lamb and tuna fish.
Yeah, I saw like all the Summerall haters were taking a victory lap real quick after the reports of the meeting came out.
The one place that I think he might go is he's a legacy at Baylor. I think that makes sense.
It definitely makes a lot of sense. LSU obviously makes
Yes,
some sense as well, just because it's Lane and you have all the resources in the world. So like I think Baylor and LSU are really the two that I'm kind of focused on there.
I have also heard him tied to Miami, but again, like
Miami's going to be tied to every transfer quarterback, though. That's the thing. Like that's the crystal ball playbook. So like one of these guys is going to Miami, but like it's hard to say who.
yes, the other name, the one that seems like it's kind of telegraphed, Georgia Tech backup Aaron Philo. That looks like he's going to go to Florida and follow Buster Faulkner.
Yeah, which I would follow Buster Faulkner too. He made Haynes King go from nobody to somebody. So
Yeah, Aaron Philo's kind of got like a little bit of what made Malik Murphy kind of intriguing.
yeah.
There's kind of a little bit of a special magic that they kind of do behind the line of scrimmage.
Mhm.
Uh, I know Ben Henderson's not the biggest fan of John Summerall, but like if you can get Aaron Philo kind of working, you're not going to beat Georgia, but you're going to be pretty good.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, like, you cannot be a fan of Summerall. Again, we disagree on this program. Like, we are John Summerall fans in a big way. And I'm sure that doesn't feel good for you with him going to Florida right now.
Now,
Like, as someone who is a fan of him, but like that staff's also pretty damn good, man.
yeah, you get Brad White to come over from Kentucky. He wasn't the problem. Mark Stoops is like, you know what, man, play prevent on every down. I don't care.
Yeah, do whatever you do. And he's yeah.
But the biggest one, and he hasn't officially like his status is so weird. Like he's gone. Like he's gone. He gone eventually.
Yeah.
Sam Levitt couldn't be bothered to show up to an Arizona State banquet. Kenny Dillingham wished him the very best. Again, he came over to Arizona State from Michigan State. He's tied to like LSU. He's tied to Oregon. He's tied to Indiana, which I think that's probably where he's going to go.
Yeah, Indiana seems very likely in my opinion. Like that feels like the right spot too. And like if Kurt Cignetti wants him, then I have full faith in it. But I also like Sam Levitt as a player just generally.
I kind of wonder if Alberto Mendez is going to play next year, potentially. If Coach Sig wants to go in that direction, I think he's earned the right to do that. He did recruit him out of JMU back in the
Isn't
day.
isn't he's only like a redshirt freshman, if I'm not mistaken, or is he a redshirt sophomore?
He has like two or more years of eligibility, though.
Okay. And I think next year will be Levitt's last year. So I mean, like there's a chance that you could just have it as a stopgap between Mendoza and Levitt.
And then I also saw the guy, I think Owens at Texas. He's probably got, my guess is he's going to follow Neil Brown to North Texas.
100%. That would be my guess as well.
Yeah.
Arch Manning not going to the NFL draft or the transfer portal as well. Also, I
We
saw
told you. We told
yeah,
you.
we've been saying this since July. Like this isn't news. We're not breaking news.
No.
I mean, we broke news in July when we knew what was going to happen because we're not idiots and we're not going to fall trap to like. I mean, I fell victim to the Arch Manning hype, but I didn't fall victim to the NFL draft nonsense. Like
No.
we know how this works. But I did want to point out that Arch Manning is the only top five recruit from his class that has not transferred, which is
Yeah,
crazy.
I saw that. There's been a lot of guys that have been moving, but we know Lenore Sellers is going to be staying at South
Mhm.
Carolina. I think
Yeah.
Kendall Briles is going to be his OC. We'll see how that goes.
It could go either way because we've seen Kendall Briles' offenses look really good. We've also seen Kendall Briles' offenses look really damn bad. So
Yeah.
like fingers crossed because we still love Lenora Sellers.
And I guess as far as like the draft is concerned, we know Fernando Mendoza is going to be a top five pick.
Hmm.
I would venture to guess that Ty Simpson declares. I would venture to guess that Dante Moore declares because those guys have first round grades. Because otherwise, you're going to have to shoehorn Garrett Nussmeier up there, where I don't think he's quite that.
Yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of NFL teams hoping that Ty Simpson declares because I think now the tides have shifted to where Dante Moore seems almost like a certainty to declare, whereas Simpson is getting because of the way he finished the season, which we praised Ty Simpson a lot. He didn't really finish the regular season very well. Obviously, didn't play well in the SEC championship game either. And if he goes out against Oklahoma and has another dud, like I don't want to put all of it on one game, but man, I think if he goes out and plays poorly, I think he's probably coming back to Tuscaloosa. And there's a lot of NFL teams that would be just sitting there twiddling their thumbs and not knowing what to do there because there's a big drop off after the top two, and if you take the third out of there, that's tough.
To be totally honest, I don't think it was entirely Ty Simpson's fault. His
No,
offensive line was terrible. I think Ryan Grubb, we've kind of seen that with him and Kalen DeBoer.
I agree completely. Like like I'm the one who's been pounding the table. Like you can't ask Ty Simpson to be the entire offense, which is what they've been doing.
No, but there's a lot of teams that are going to need quarterbacks, like
Yeah.
the Jets, the Saints, the Raiders. Diego Pavia wants to go to the Raiders, and he made people hate Vanderbilt over the course of a weekend, which is impossible, but he did do that.
What an idiot, man. I love him to death, but he's an idiot.
Yeah, I know. He's- can you imagine if he goes to the Raiders and just takes a piss on an arrowhead? They just in the field.
Yes, I can. I can't imagine that as a New Mexico resident.
Also, also shout out to us. I know we work at Fanside, but the first time since we've been working here in any capacity, the Chiefs are not making the playoffs.
That's right. Yeah, you love to see it. And I sent out a tweet last week that I literally tweeted it just because our colleague Zach Rotman needed it for a playoff scenarios post, and it was the 37 ways that the Chiefs could get eliminated on Sunday, and it got picked up by like two different Canadian outlets, TSN and The Score, both like tagged me, and I was like, well, we're immediately muting these because I can't deal with this all day.
Yeah, if you get TSN of the score going, getting you involved, you've got a lot of people reading your stuff.
Yeah, and I was like, we can't be dealing with this.
No, but any other transfer portal thoughts? Again, it's still the early stuff. We'll be talking about it more the next coming couple weeks and everything like that. But there's going to be some names of guys that enter it that will shock us because that's just how it always goes.
Yeah, and like I think that one of the things I'm watching, we're going to talk about coaches here in a little bit, but like one of the things I am watching is Ole Miss in the playoff and like where we end up with the Ole Miss roster and who follows. Because like we talked about someone like oh God, I'm totally blanking. Who did I mean? DJ Lagway going to potentially going to
Yeah.
LSU. Trinidad Chambliss is a very obvious fit as well. And so,
Yes.
like, if Trinidad Chambliss were to follow Lane Kiffin to LSU, like, that would make a whole hell of a lot of sense as well. If Kawan Lacey followed him to LSU, if he, I'm not sure if he still has eligibility left or not. Regardless, like, there's still a lot more dominoes to fall because these playoff teams are going to see players follow as well.
Hell yeah. And all I got to tell you, man, is C's get to Grace.
That's right, baby.
So as it stands right now, about what 6:30 Eastern, same time on what Wednesday the 17th, there are three head coaching vacancies. You have the Michigan opening for about a week with Sherrod Moore's scandalous termination. Ryan Beard has left Missouri State to take over at Coastal Carolina. The interim there is the son of Bobby Petrino, Nick.
I didn't know Bobby Petrino had Spawn. That's terrifying.
I didn't know Brian Kelly did either. So we got that going for us.
Both are
And
terrifying. No, I'm not a fan.
And then the other one that broke today, poor Pete Nakos, breaking his alma maters. Brian Smith is kind of being fired for cause there at Ohio U.
Mhm.
Again, there's a little more pushback here, whereas Shrewmore didn't have any. We'll see what happens with the Bobcats there, but a really good group of five job opened up just now.
I'm just laughing because I'm sitting here thinking like there's pushback in Ohio and there was push out in Michigan. They're like, oh no, Sherrod.
Tim Albin, come on back, brother.
Yeah, 100%. Hey, after a year in Charlotte, he's probably asking him to.
Oh no, man, it's like very Jimmy Clausen of him. Had a Jimmy Clausen Charlatan experience.
Jimmy Clausen, what a guy.
What a guy. So what we're going to do here for this segment is Cody and I are going to share our three favorite hires of the cycle, our three least favorite, and three we need a little more time on here. Probably work our way down from like favorite, like our most favorite to like next ones here.
Yeah,
You go first.
yeah. I'll start with my most favorite, and it's the one that happened the earliest, but I still think it's a damn good hire. James Franklin of Virginia Tech, man.
Yes, that's my number one too.
Yeah, I mean it's just such a perfect fit. I think like Virginia Tech is a higher upside job than Vanderbilt was when he was there, and he obviously was successful at Vanderbilt. And like Penn State might have been a little over his skis. I think Vanderbilt is the perfect size program for him to exercise what he does so well, which is raising the floor to like ridiculous degrees. Like at Virginia Tech, being the driver will get you there for a lifetime. And like that they've been yearning for that. And like I like this is just a perfect fit between personality and culture and exactly what the Hokies need.
Yeah, this is my favorite hire as well, simply because I think it's fail proof. I think this is also a job where, like, maybe he got a little complacent there in Happy Valley. Maybe he took a job. I mean, granted, Penn State's he's from Pennsylvania, I get it,
Yeah.
but that job has challenges there. And the Big Ten, obviously, Ohio State, Michigan can outspend you. Indiana can outspend you. Washington's really good. Oregon can outspend you. So the job's kind of been muted a little bit.
Hmm.
But you also have some ties to the region. Penn State's always recruited the Tidewater well. That's why Brent Pry got fired there, and got rehired back at a position he's more qualified for. He's also had ties to the region from his time on Ralph Region's staff at
Hmm.
Maryland. The other thing that I would say here is there's a chance that this job can make Penn State eat it. Like he could be winning the ACC or whatever becomes the ACC, and Penn State's kind of going through a Georgia 1990s kind of decade
No,
for Penn State.
100%. Yeah. And like I again, I know it happened a while like several weeks ago at this point, but like it's that doesn't change the fact that it's a phenomenal hire.
No. And I know I was dunking on Penn State. My second favorite hire is Matt Campbell to Penn State.
So I don't have Matt Campbell in my top three, and it was literally just so I didn't talk about Penn State the entire time. And but like I'm a huge fan of this. Like it would probably be four on my list.
I think he fits Penn State better than James Franklin did. This
Oh
is a
yeah.
guy that, is a Mount Union dude, won a lot at Toledo, a well-resourced program in the MAC, won a lot at Iowa State, not a well-resourced program in the Big 12.
Right.
He just feels very Penn State here. I wonder what he'll do with more resources, what Terry Pagula and everybody will end up what Key will give him from Key and Peele. I don't know who
Yeah.
else is the booster for Penn State as well. Um, Again, like it's going to look a little bit different. we always thought that Matt Campbell was eventually going to leave the Big 12 in Iowa State. We thought he could be a fit at Michigan. We thought he could work at USC if it failed with Lincoln Riley.
Mhm.
Nebraska could work. This just feels like hand in glove here. I'm very excited to see what he can do.
No, 100%. I think he is going to be able to raise the ceiling in a way that Franklin never was.
Perfect. What's your number two?
My number two, and this might be a little bit of a hot take. I love Bob Chesney to UCLA, man. That's
Let's
my
go,
number
brother.
two, and like it's something I've been thinking about, specifically when it comes to someone like Kurt Signetti, who obviously, there's a connection there with Chesney replacing him at JMU. But like when you go back and you look at Kurt Signetti's resume, the one thing that the dude just did at every single level that he's ever been at is win football games. And when you look at Bob Chesney's resume, it's the exact same thing. Dude went 44 and 16 at Holy Cross. And now
Holy
he's gone,
smokes. Yeah.
yeah, and now he's gone to JMU and he's gone 21 and 5 in 2 seasons. Like the dude just wins. And when I think about UCLA and like I understand that there are disadvantages with at UCLA, like your little brother to USC. Whether or not you want to admit that, that's fine. You are, and especially when it comes to college football. And I think bringing someone in who is still young, someone who can provide energy, someone who can like ignite this program a little bit, and also who was used to like playing at or like coaching at programs and heading programs that aren't necessarily the most well resourced and are fighting uphill battles. Like JMU, yes, like their star has obviously risen quite tremendously over the past decade, but at the same time, you are still in the same state as Virginia. You are still in the same state as Virginia Tech. You are still battling with Maryland for recruits. Like you are not playing first fiddle in any of those races. And they still found a way to continually get talent in there and continually get like talent that other Power Four programs are trying to poach. And so, like, when I think about how that would translate to UCLA, it's pretty like clear.
I do not have Chesney listed anywhere. I think he's a phenomenal head coach. I don't think the UCLA job is very good. Troy Aikman's not going to be bankrolling that anymore.
He's
He's
certainly
like,
not. Certainly not.
I want to be optimistic about this. I think there's a lot of heart within that program. Maybe there's some sort of juice there. Maybe you look at it like being what was good when it was Jim Moore recently. I don't know if it's going to be Terry Donahue levels of good back in the 90s, but
Yeah.
they could certainly be trending up here. But I get what you have there. And
Yeah. And I mean, to your point, like, I understand the challenges that are there with the UCLA program. I truly do. But I think of this coaching cycle, if anyone's going to be able to overcome those challenges, I think Bob Chesney's the guy to be able to do that.
And I hope so. And I hope so. And again, I don't want to see any of these guys fail.
No.
The last two, I kind of had like a third and then like an honorable mention. My two next ones are out of the group of five with Billy Napier to James Madison to Neil Brown to North Texas.
Okay. Nice. We're gonna
Um,
disagree. We're disagreeing on Neil Brown because I'm gonna go ahead and tell you I have Neil Brown as my need time.
okay, that's fair. With Billy Napier, this is a JMU's a well-oiled machine. Everybody wins there.
Mhm.
Bob Chesney, Kurt Signetti, Mike Houston, you name it. Billy Napier is going to go in there with a chance to prove himself. He dominated this conference previously before at Louisiana Lafayette. And I also think that he's going to have a little bit more staying time there, and he's going to renovate himself. If he gets JMU in and around the playoff once in 3 years, I could see him going back to a Power Four gig.
Oh yeah.
Like, but if Shane Beamer doesn't work at South Carolina, maybe he goes there. Maybe if Dave Doran's run its course, maybe he goes to Raleigh.
Yeah.
I think that's James Madison was very proactive with this, and I thought that was impressive.
Yeah, I don't have Billy on here. I'll give him an honorable mention though, because like I think Billy Napier was a terrible fit at Florida. Like
Yeah.
I don't think that he is made for that stage. And I mean, part of that's a Florida problem. Like we gotta I I know you feel that way as a Georgia fan. As a neutral non-SEC guy, like there's a lot of issues that Florida needs to look in the mirror and sort out itself. It's not always the head coach's fault.
And I'll say my Neil Brown stuff when we talk about it on your stuff. So who do you
Yeah.
have at three?
At three, I have my guy Alex Galesh, man. And I have a feeling he might be in your need time at Auburn, or maybe he's not on your list at all.
He's not on my list. I think Auburn's a little bit of a toxic job. I'm a believer in this guy though.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I think that I'm glad you said that because that's actually why it's one of my favorite hires. I think Alex Galesh is the type of guy that can fight through the toxicity. I think he's the type of guy who, he's an offensive mind and like being able to just scheme this stuff up to where it doesn't matter how much toxicity is going on. Like you're just going to be able to get results on the field. And like that's the first way you start to fight toxicity is just get some results on the field. and results that look different than what we saw from Hugh Freeze. At any point in the Hugh Freeze era, did the offense look good at Auburn? No. And I think that's going to change pretty dramatically under Alex Galesh. On top of that, I just think that Alex Galesh got South Florida invested in the program. And we know that Hugh Freeze's problem wasn't getting investment. It was using the players to get that using the players that they got that investment with properly. That didn't happen, or picking the right players when it comes to quarterback. Obviously, Alex Galesh has an eye for quarterback because he got Byron Brown to freaking South Florida when he was better than a South Florida Bowl. Maybe he comes to Auburn. Who knows? But having said that, I just think that Alex Galesh is the right type of personality. And obviously, he has SEC ties as well. This isn't his first, he's not making a jump to the SEC without ever having coached in this before. And let's not act like Tennessee's not a little bit toxic as well. So, and when he came with Josh Heupel to the Tennessee job, that was toxic as well because everyone was about to have a mutiny because they're like, all we could get is Heupel in Knoxville. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's working out okay. So I just think that he is the right guy to fight through all the BS. Is really what it comes down to.
Yeah, I don't have this one listed anywhere. This is a little bit more like need more time, but
Yeah,
I think he's good. We'll see what happens with the Auburn job of itself. It's kind of like how I feel about Billy Napier. It's like, yeah, he had no chance to succeed at Florida. I think he's got a little bit better chance to succeed in Auburn, but we'll see here. So that's good.
100%.
All right, which ones do we hate? And I'm pretty sure you and I probably have the same one for number one.
Will Hall is Will Hall
Yes.
your number one? Yeah, okay. Uh,
What are we doing? What God's green earth are we doing? This is Tulane. You're better than this.
I don't have anything else to say because that's literally you didn't even have a coaching search. You're too late. This is one of the best G5 jobs in the country, and you didn't even have a coaching search, and you hire. Excuse me, cold coming back.
Yeah. Damn it.
You hired a guy who failed at Southern Miss, a worse job, and I understand you're going to have more resources at Tulane. I understand you're going to have advantages at Tulane that you did not have at Southern Miss. I don't care. You failed spectacularly, and then your immediate predecessor succeeded so much that he got a better job immediately. He only lasted 1 year.
And look, Summerall's been there for 2 years. Willie Fritz was there about 3 or 4. Fritz kind of turned it around. There have been pockets and stuff there, with Tulane being good, but we're kind of at the pinnacle of what we've seen in the last 50, 75 years.
Mm-hmm.
You go with a guy that tore away at the fabric of what made Southern Miss special at some point. And I don't understand how you can't pay Blake Baker whatever it takes to
Yeah.
come back to Alma Mater, how you can't get Shannon Dawson to come home. Like I would Bruce Feldman had so many more candidates out there and you didn't get them. You went the safe route here.
And I think that's my biggest problem is this isn't safe. You hit the easy button and didn't have a coaching search. You just pick someone with familiarity, and I'm never going to support that.
No, Tulane's gonna probably lose on Saturday. They have an outside shot at winning, but they're not gonna be in the playoff next year. No
No,
chance.
God, no. Absolutely not.
All right. Number two for me, maybe this guy's on here. I don't like Ryan Silverfield, Arkansas.
Oh, let me see. I have him on my list. I have him in need time.
Okay.
But it's probably pretty similar vibes.
You hired a guy that had success in your similar region, which is why you did this. You want a guy that can impact plays. Sam Pittman never could because he's a line coach. But Silverfield had success in the wake of Mike Norvell, who had success in the wake of Justin Fuente, which is why Charles Huff's going to have success
Yeah.
at Memphis. I think he's kind of a. I'm not really rooting for Charles Huff. I don't really root for people that are what's the word I'm looking for? Opportunists,
Opportunist is definitely the right word.
which is why I don't think Kalen DeBoer is going to go to Michigan. He can't do that. Optically, he'll get crucified.
Yeah, 100%.
Um, and then it's just with Silverfield, it's like I know he's a proven head coach and everything at Arkansas. Are you out of the bottom quarter of SEC head coaches? At this point, Pete Golden and Will Stein are unproven. They've never been a head coach before. You're near the bottom with Jeff Lebby, who we think highly of, but
Yeah.
you're not in the category of Lane,
Mm.
Kirby,
Mm.
Sark, Lee, Drank. Y- You're not even Heupel, man.
You're my least favorite SEC hire. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, Summerall's a more proven guy than you. Elko's really good.
Galesh is more proven than you.
Yeah, maybe this will provide some level of stability to Arkansas that they've kind of needed, but I feel like they wanted Golesh and they didn't get him.
Yeah, that definitely feels like the case. I'll go ahead and speak on him for why I think why I have him in needs time. And I'm leaning more negative. Let me be very clear about that because I don't necessarily think I think that the process is a little flawed, more or less from Arkansas's perspective, kind of to the point that you touched on. But I also think like I'm willing to give it some level of grace period because I do think that Arkansas wasn't successful this year. Obviously, they were a bad football team. But once Bobby Petrino took over and they were just an offensive minded football team, they were at least like competitive. They weren't getting their ass kicked. And Ryan Silverfield, obviously coming from Memphis, it's an offensive minded program, essentially. And if you can bring that to Arkansas and then recruit players that actually are fitting into that system and aren't Sam Pitt, like you're not trying to like marry Sam Pittman's vision with Bobby Petrino coaching, I think it could potentially lead to more success than we've seen from the Hogs recently, but that's not a guarantee. And so that's why I'm giving it a needs time.
Recruitment's always going to win, and there's a blueprint there which you've expressed. You get the guys from Western Tennessee and in the Mississippi Delta to come there, which you can do that.
100%.
Um, who's your two?
No surprise, Jason Candle. Look, I'm gonna dance on it as long as like you went from Toledo where you have every advantage in the world and you didn't always take advantage of those, but somehow it got your star high enough that you got another job that you somehow perceived as better. It's only better because Jim Mora is a good coach. I think UConn is a terribly difficult job, and I think Jason Candle is not cut out for it. That's really what it comes down to.
He may be making more money to go to stores, but he's got to play in East Hartford,
Yeah.
and the resources aren't the same. UConn needs to just, I don't know, they're going to figure it out. They're going to join a league at some point. I don't know what that's going to be, but
Dan Hurley might fight Jason Candle at some point. Like that's not out of the question.
and Gino Arietta comes off the top rope with the pile driver.
That's right. That's right.
I didn't have this because I had a feeling you might have this, but I would lean probably more negative than anything.
Yeah, 100%.
And my number three, this will come as a surprise for you. Even though I predicted this, I think it's a bad fit. Tavita Pritchard to Stanford.
Okay, yeah. I actually thought you might have this on there because I remember you being quite negative when the hire happened.
You're talking about the guy that Andrew Luck replaced at Stanford back in like 08, 09. This isn't the Pac-10, brother. This is the ACC.
Yeah,
Pritchard, oh, he's the quarterbacks coach for the Commanders, who are a hot car death of a football team right now. They're
yeah.
starting Marcus Mariota. They're gonna go. They're 3-10. They're worse than the Falcons because they lost the Falcons. And for me, like I understand that they probably wanted to go with somebody with Stanford ties and try to get back to the good, what David Shaw sort of thing.
Hmm.
They failed to realize that Mike Bloomgren was a secret sauce. Obviously, his career's unraveled. To me, this feels like they're giving Andrew Luck God power because he's
Yeah,
Andrew Luck. And let me put it this way: remember how much power John Elway used to have with the Broncos and how terrible they were?
yeah.
They removed him from the equation, and now they're good. So, and I feel like rather than have Frank Reich, why couldn't you just have hired Tavita Pritchard back in the spring? It feels like you're wasting a year here.
That's definitely fair. I would probably lean more needs time just because like I think I'm a little more I'm a little more or I can see the optimism a little bit more of how this could work out and why it might be attracted to Stanford because unlike Elway with the Broncos, like Stanford is a unique place in this
Yes.
in the scope of college football. And so you need someone who understands that. And obviously Pritchard having played there and been a part of that program, working with Andrew Luck in the same vein, like I can see the vision. Whether or not that vision works out, I definitely don't feel strongly either way right now.
But what do you feel strongly at for number three for you?
We've talked about it before. I have Brian Hartline, man.
Yeah,
I
that's a weird one.
Brian Hartline's biggest advantage is recruiting. It's always been the case. He's not like I'm not going to say he's a bad offensive coordinator. He's not a good offensive coordinator though. And like someone whose greatest ability is recruiting, going to a G5 program in South Florida, just in case the viewers or listeners don't know where these guys are headed. Brian Hartline at South Florida. But like going to a G5 program, even if it is a G5 program in a recruiting hotbed, even if it is a G5 program in a good spot where Alex Galesh is leaving it, I hate that as a strategy. Like recruiting is not how you win on the G5 level.
No.
That like you have to, yes, you have to recruit, you have to be smart, you have to get the, the hidden gems, the diamonds in the rough, yada yada yada. The guys who fit your system. Yes, I get all that. Like it's recruiting is important at every level of college football. But to succeed at the G5 level, you need scheme and you need talent development. And frankly, I have not seen a whole lot of that from Brian Hartline.
I didn't have this one anywhere, but I would probably lean more negative or needs time. You bring up a great point about recruitment. That's his greatest asset. Yes, you're in the hotbed there in Hillsborough County, in and around Tampa and St. Petersburg. But this is what's going to kill you. Like when Boise State would offer somebody, Iowa State would offer them, and then they would go to Iowa State. If Brian Hartline puts his blue stamp of approval on there of some player that's like a 3-star from I don't know, Clearwater, Florida, Scott Frost is just going to take him,
Yeah.
or John Summerall or Mike Norvell. Mike Norvell won't because he's dumb, but Mario Cristobal is also dumb, but he'll probably get him too. Like you get
He,
what I'm saying.
he's a recruiting savant. He's dumb in every other aspect. When it comes to showing up at a recruit store, he knows what to do.
But like you're going from the best program in the country to the fifth best program in Florida.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly not dissimilar to me. I remember years ago, Bud Elliott talking about Jeff Hafley at Boston College, and
Yes.
it's not dissimilar to that. Jeff Hafley was offering guys in ninth and 10th grade in high school because he saw the talent. He knew that they were like, he saw the traits that they were going to develop into and like saw that. Those guys never ended up at Boston College. Like they were committed as sophomores to Boston College, but they never ended up in Chestnut Hill. That's going to happen a hell of a lot to Brian Hartline. I would almost guarantee that.
Yes. And I'll throw my dishonorable mention out there, my last one. Pete Golding. What are we doing?
Yeah, I felt bad putting Ole Miss on here, but yeah, that's probably one of them as well.
We're looking at a team that might win 5 games next year. And again, he's knows a lot of people. He's a pretty good defensive coordinator. Not great, but pretty good.
Yeah,
But he's a pretty good defensive coordinator. The SEC going to develop into a great head coach. I'm a little dubious of that.
yeah.
It's got some Jim Lambright, Mark Helfrich nonsense written all over it. And understand what you had to do here to kind of save face. Um, I would have just gotten John Summerall instead.
That probably would have been a better move. I also think it's going to be interesting because like you think of Pete Golding's like route to being a head coach. His last two jobs were under Nick Saban and Lane Kiffin, and I understand that those two are tied together, but let's be clear, it could not be more different coaching styles than that. So like I don't even know what Pete Golding head coach is going to look like.
Maybe Steve Sarkisian at USC. We'll see what that.
Well,
Uh, and let's do some need more time. The one I need more time on is Will Stein in Kentucky.
that's a good one. Yeah.
He's coming back home. He played his college football in state, albeit at rival Louisville. We know that he's like our peer. He's a good offensive mind.
Mhm.
He's ready for this. I thought this was a really good get for Kentucky. But again, this is a very hard job. And obviously, they wanted to go offensive mind because they've been chasing the ghost that is Liam Cohen, who's leading a halfway decent, pretty good Jaguars team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Um, my concern is like this might be kind of like what happened with the pendulum of the 2010s in Arkansas, where you just go one way or another and you can't find you can't you lose your footing here. We're doing ground and pound. Oh, we're doing air raid. It's just I want to believe it's going to work, but like that's a tough first job for somebody. But I think if anybody could do it, it could be him. I would have rather had Neil Brown take the bullets than he take over for him.
Yeah. I have him as like my honorable mention, so to speak, for needs time for the exact reasons that you're talking about. Like essentially, I think Will Stein is a hell of a coach. I think Will Stein deserved to be a head coach, and I agree with you. Like for Kentucky, it's a heck of a get, man. Like that's higher than I thought Kentucky could shoot, quite frankly. And my issues are with Kentucky. Like
Yeah.
it is a very hard job, and like Mark Stoops' failures of late, I'm like not to ruffle too many feathers. It's not all about Mark Stoops, man. I think it's just that the advantages that Kentucky had with Mark Stoops are now gone in the transfer portal and NIL era.
They don't play in the SEC East anymore.
Yeah, I mean that hurts you as well.
All right. What was your number one need more time?
Lane Kiffin, man.
Hell yeah.
I mean, look, you and I are fans of Lane Kiffin as a head coach. Like he succeeded for the past almost decade as a head coach, and like there's a lot of reasons to do that. But how everything went down, how he ended up at LSU, how he left, like how he handled the Ole Miss situation, how he's probably going to continue to handle it in the transfer portal. Like the vibes are pretty damn bad, man. And like the vibes at LSU were not great before they got Lane Kiffin either, in the wake of Brian Kelly. So like I don't know, if this had happened in any other way, this would be one of my favorite hires. Like I think Lane Kiffin, the head coach, should succeed at LSU. But situationally, the way everything has transpired here, I need to see it because there's also a real world where this blows up in his face very quickly.
You could put Lane Kiffin in all three categories. That's why I didn't have it anywhere. I'm like,
Yeah.
I have no
I
idea.
went with needs time because I'm like, brother, this could be the best, the worst, but like honestly, it's just a wait and see.
I think that's fair. My second one's Kirby Moore to Washington State.
Yeah.
Former Kellen Moore's brother, I don't know if he's younger or older, the offensive coordinator there at Mizzou, well thought of, very creative, trying to make a lot of chicken salad out of chicken mess there in Como. He's from the region. I think he played at Fresno or Boise. The point is, it doesn't matter. He knows the region, the new Pac-12. He's going to be part of it.
Yeah.
Washington State always kind of favors people that are intellectually curious in the football field and
Mhm.
in life and in general. But like you just losing coaches constantly, man. Like it's you've had good like Jake Dickert's a good head coach. I think Jimmy Rogers has a chance at success at Iowa State, but I don't know. But like I'm pulling for him, but this is not an easy job.
No, 100%. It's gonna be difficult.
All right, it was number two for you,
So,
Neil Brown or three.
Neil Brown's at three. Ryan Silverfield is my second. I've already spoken on that. So I'll talk a little bit about Neil Brown and why I need some time there. It's been 7 years since he was a G5 head coach. And yes, he was fantastic at Troy. Don't get me wrong. There's a reason he got the West Virginia job. But a lot of things have changed about the G5 in 7 years. It's a bit of a different world. And nothing we saw at West Virginia was inspiring. I can tell you that. And North Texas, because they've had the success the past couple of years they have had under Eric Morris, I think it gets lost in the shuffle a little bit that this job is very finicky. It is
Yeah.
not a plug and play job. And I don't want to say that Troy is necessarily plug and play, but it's not plug and
Yeah.
play.
That's a great point there too. I mean, what Larry Blakey is an all-time head coach in the lower levels. We saw Troy, not Troy. Some guy named Troy is coaching at Troy. Troy could come on down. But Neil Brown had success there. John Summerall had success there. Jared Parker is starting to have success there. That's kind of a plug and play sort of job there, similar to James Madison. I think that that's totally fair. I think it's like, very good point. The G5's changed a lot. North Texas is a lot of just going 7-6 with Seth Luttrell. That's kind of
Hmm.
what North Texas is. But I think he took the power forward job that won him. West Virginia is very hard. You got to be a firecracker personality. He's paint drying.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but I think he goes back and they're rejuvenated. He spent last year on Sark's staff in Texas.
Hmm.
I think he's charged up. I think he's got a plan, and I'm pulling for him. So,
Yeah.
and again, like I was looking for like another G5 that I like besides Billy Napier to James Madison, and I settled on Neil Brown there. But I can see how you say maybe that was more needs more time in
Yeah, and
retrospect.
I'm not entirely negative on it. It's just one of those like I need to wait and see just because so much has changed and West Virginia was not pretty. And to be clear, like I'm not rooting for any of these guys except for Jason Candle to fail.
Hell yeah! And my other honorable mention is Eric Morris at Oklahoma State. I just don't know
Mhm.
how much of a fallout wasteland this place is.
Yeah, I mean that's that like very similar honestly to Will Stein at Kentucky. Like I like the coach a lot, but the situation scares the hell out of me.
And it's not like Kentucky or Oklahoma State are like paupers. Like they have money to spend, and they'll do it. But like
Kentucky does it on their basketball program is the problem.
in Oklahoma State, they spend it somewhere.
Golf and wrestling, I think.
But you know where they don't spend it on? Playoffs. You kidding me?
You're damn right they don't.
Cody did this masterfully on Sunday's episode for Monday. I'm going to share the 12 teams in the playoff now and what I think if they can, their chances of them winning a national championship. And again, your list is not terribly Wrong. It's mostly good. For the viewers at home, for the starters, Cody had James Madison at 12, Tulane at 11, Ole Miss at 10, Oklahoma 9, Alabama 8, Texas A&M 7, Miami 6, Texas Tech 5, Oregon 4, Ohio State 3, Indiana 2, and Georgia 1. And again, like I'm just saying, I wrote that down while I was watching the game.
I'm very, very appreciative because I accidentally deleted it. So I do not have that list anymore.
And again, like I could have probably run that out there and feel similar. There's a few subtle changes that I think there's two that I feel strongly about. I threw a third there just for a point of discussion. So,
I have a feeling I know what one is. One of them is for sure. I think it
okay,
might be. I think you might have a little issue with my number 14.
potentially we'll see what happens. So my number 12 team, that would be James Madison. They've got an outgoing head coach. They're the second group of five team to make it, the first out of the Sun Belt to get this far. I think Alonzo Barnett's a lot of fun at
Mhm.
quarterback. I think Bob Chesney's a good head coach. They're just nowhere in the same stratosphere as anybody from a talent perspective. But you know what? This was a team that competing at the FCS level not that long ago. So more power to them. They'll get tremendous exposure and growth here. Maybe PFT can be their big booster.
I mean, maybe. I hope so. And then like I think like I said this on the show on Monday, but like I think JMU like puts up a better fight than Liberty did in the Fiesta Bowl a couple years ago, but like not that much more.
Yeah, we had Losing Tuesday yesterday. Now we're having Losing Wednesday, so it's just called Wednesday.
That's right.
Let me put it this way: the team that I have at 11 is probably closer to 10 than 12. At 11, I have Tulane, and at 10, I have Ole Miss,
Okay. That makes
which is
sense.
Tulane can compete. We know like they've won a New Year's Six bowl. They beat USC when Caleb Williams was their quarterback and Michael Pratt was their quarterback. And
Mhm.
it would not shock me if they upset Ole Miss. It's not likely, but it's not. It's a non-zero chance that they can do it.
Yeah.
My concern is John Summerall is wearing the ultimate house divided hat right now, and that's going to be a challenge there. I think the gap between Trinidad Chambliss and Jake Retzlaff is there, but it's not all that massive.
Mhm.
I also kind of feel about like the coaching advantage that Tulane might have over Ole Miss here, which is disjointed, gives them a puncher's chance, which is why I have Ole Miss at 10. I just
Yeah.
the Pete Golding of it all. If you do beat Tulane for the second time, you got to play Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. They already beat you. Pete Golding couldn't stop Georgia one time
Yeah.
on defense. Now he's got to be the head coach. Gunnar Stockton, the guys are really figuring it out. I think that those three teams don't have any shot to win a national championship.
Agreed. I'm right there with you on those.
And I kind of contemplated going back and forth on what I have at 9 and 8, but I ultimately settled on the same order that you do. I have Oklahoma at 9 and Alabama at 8.
Yeah, which I like. We'll get to it. I'm probably going to pick Oklahoma to win this game, but like Alabama has a better chance to go on a run than Oklahoma does, is how I see it.
I think Oklahoma, this is my thought. Oklahoma has a better identity than Alabama does right now, which is disjointed, but John Mateer is a liability at quarterback right now. Honestly, Brent Venables is going to be coming up dead in most like coaching comparisons. He's going to get out coached. Ben
Mhm.
Arbuckle is going to have the fear P going down his leg.
Yeah,
Whereas I kind of trust DeBoer. He's been there before. Womack's good. Linguist is good. I have my reservations about Grubb and everything like that. But like if I needed a team to win multiple playoff games between those two playing the 8 and 9 on Friday, I would probably go Alabama. And that's why I
yeah,
ultimately just stay where you did.
yeah. I mean, and that's the same logic. Like, I can't see Oklahoma with their limitations on offense necessarily, and like necessarily going on any kind of run. Like, I can see them beating Alabama again because I've already seen that. But like outside of that, I just don't. I don't think they have the horses to go on a run.
100%. And this is where the first time where it changes. I have my 6 and 7 flipped with you. I have Miami at 7 and I have Texas A&M at 6. It's very close. I think that's the closest game that we're going to see this
Mhm.
weekend, which probably means it's going to be a blowout. The reason that I have A&M ahead is I think just the home game factor
Mhm.
makes it just a little bit more difficult for Miami. I know I think Elko is a better head coach than Cristobal, who I
Oh,
think we dunk on Cristobal a lot, but like there's good qualities that he has there
yeah.
too. Marcel Reed, Carson Beck, it's kind of a push. It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
difference, but I think
Both are going to
Miami
make mistakes. Like,
they,
that's going to happen.
they both have really good offensive coordinators. Dawson's going to be staying there in Miami, whereas Colin Klein's back to alma mater Kansas State. I think really just the big difference is just the home crowd advantage that I think could make things easier for A&M. And again, maybe I do pick Miami to win. I don't know, but I think that's ultimately where I came down on that. I think Elko is the other factor too.
No, Elko's, I mean, the point on Elko's very, very well taken, and I tend to agree with you. Like, I do think he is a better head coach than Mario Cristobal, but I like, and I'm not trying to continue a bit here or anything like that, but like, I just don't believe in Texas A&M. That's really what it comes down to.
I don't either. I just like Mike Elko. I
It's
think he's
fair.
cool.
It's fair.
It's like people wearing a Metallica shirt. You listen to them. No, I just think it's a cool shirt.
Ma- I'm just a master of puppets. I don't know what to tell you.
Uh, where that is. And you are right. I had my 4 and 5 flipped with you. I've got Oregon at 5 and Texas Tech at 4. And again, this comes down to three things for me. I think I'm a little bit more decisive on this than you. I think even though JMU is not going to put up much of a fight versus Oregon, you still have to play a game. Football's a game of injuries. Maybe something like that impacts you. Then you got to go play in like what the Orange Bowl. So that's a major travel
Yeah.
disadvantage for Oregon as well, as opposed to going to going to Greater Miami versus the Dallas Fort Worth area. Again, no easy travel, but it's even worse.
Yeah.
The other thing I think is I've kind of been poking at Oregon all season. I think they're the biggest fake tough guys out there. I don't think that they're going to handle much adversity very well.
That's fair.
But the absolute biggest thing here is look. With I forgot to mention Tosh the Poi. That's another guy that was kind of like wait and see at Cal, but
Yeah.
he's gone and Will Stein's gone. As far as I know, Texas Tech's keeping everybody there. Shill Wood's still in his job.
Mhm.
You had to replace Zach Hitley, but like that was last year, and he's living his best life in Boca Raton. I think that Joe McGuire is going to be a little more empowered by his coaches to uplift him, whereas I think Dan Lanning is going to be like saying, "Hey, focus, snap,
Yeah.
retain, listen." And again, I think Oregon is the worst team that I think can win the national championship.
Yeah, I mean, like we're into the category where so like I had Miami in this category of can win a national championship. They're the lowest percentage chance, in my opinion, to be very clear. But like I do think they could. I think that this was the most difficult decision for me. Like I want to be clear. Like I'm not like gonna pound the table for Oregon. Like your points are well taken, and like I think Texas Tech is a damn good football team. So like I don't want to like, but like this 4-5 was definitely my hardest decision. I think that the experience factor, which also separated my 1 and 2 between Kirby and Georgia and Coach Sig in Indiana, like Dan Lanning, yes, it wasn't a good experience, but he's been in this playoff before. And like this is uncharted territory for Texas Tech. And I think at some point that's going to rear its head.
And I think that's fair. And I think if Oregon put Indiana rematch, I don't know if they'll win, but they'll keep it interesting again.
Yeah, 100%.
And I actually have my 2 and 3 flip. I changed this very last minute here,
Okay, nice.
which means I have Indiana at 3 and Ohio State at 2,
Okay.
which means I have Georgia at 1.
Yeah.
I'm still like with Indiana, I'm like, I'm not sure. I'm kind of like see it when I believe it. When you have like your greatest win in program history, you might lose in the Rose Bowl to Alabama.
It's definitely fair.
And I mean, Stephen Daly is jumping up and down trying to give people high fives and like breaks his leg. I
Mhm.
mean, this is like, I know I said don't act like you've been to the end zone before, Indiana, but you never have. This is kind of like the Falcons winning the NFC Championship. You know, it's just not going to work out in the Super Bowl. It's just how it is. Grit Cignetti, Ryan Day, Kirby Smart are the three best head coaches in college football right now. I don't know who you'd put on Mount Rushmore right now. We can have
Yeah.
that. That's a discussion for another day, but those three guys have really separated in the last 24 months.
That's a discussion for an off-season podcast for sure.
Bingo. But look, I'm of the belief whoever wins the Fiesta Bowl between Georgia and Ohio State is going to win the national championship, and that's
Okay.
ultimately where I decided on that.
Let me ask you this because this is what separated Indiana and Ohio State from me because I like your points about Indiana are well taken and like this could blow up in their face and kind of just be a letdown after the regular season and Big Ten championship that they just had. Are you not a little bit worried about Ohio State? Because like I can't escape the feeling like I've been told for much of the season that this Ohio State team's better than last year, and I just don't see it. I
I
don't
don't
think
see.
that's the case.
No, I don't think Julian Sands. He's going to grow up a lot since dinner. He doesn't have the. I don't necessarily think he has the grit that Will Howard did. Will Howard,
God no.
Travion Henderson, and Quinshon Judkins were on a mission.
Yeah, and like the run game at Ohio State's fine, but it's not what it was a year ago, and the offensive line is notably worse as well.
And Georgia's getting a little bit better of a pass rush. We know Oregon can get after the passer. We know Texas Tech can get after the passer. We know Indiana can do it. So and Ohio State has the most difficult road of anybody in the playoff, not named Miami. I think
Yeah.
Miami's got a
Miami's
real
up against it. Miami does not have a fun time ahead.
Yeah, I just think Georgia's firing all cylinders. I think that they're my favorite to win the national championship. They have an easier path. You get to play Tulane, Ole Miss, in the Sugar Bowl. You lost there to Notre Dame a year ago, but none of these teams are Notre Dame from a year ago. You've had people picking Ohio State. They still have the best betting odds to win the national championship. Everybody is like looking up at them like this doesn't make sense. And honestly, Brian Hartline potentially moving. Mike Bobo ain't going nowhere. Glenn Schumann ain't going nowhere. Kirby Smart ain't going nowhere. He ain't going to Michigan, brother. Why the
Oh
hell would he do
God,
that?
no. God,
No.
no.
No, Kirby Smart's more likely to coach the Falcons than Michigan. Are you kidding me? It ain't happening.
He's more likely to like revive NFL Europe and coach there than he is to coach at Michigan.
He's more likely to revive Walt Disney and Ted Williams. Like, uh,
You've just been watching a lot of Austin Powers thinking about cryogenic freezing is all it is.
also, Alex Galesh is a fat bastard, take care of himself.
That's right. I want my baby back, baby back.
Maybe we will do an Austin Powers themed episode at some point here.
Absolutely.
It's so good. I gotta share with the viewers, the starters. The best thing is when Austin Powers goes to Vegas with Vanessa Kensington, and he sees this guy from like Mississippi. He's like, "Hey, look at you. Do I know you? No, you're there, and you are you." And he just walks away, and the guy's so offended.
Completely crestfallen. It's tremendous.
Tom Arnold is the guy in the bathroom.
What did you eat?
Also, if you want to see a really messed up thing, see what Random Task did in his personal life. That guy's a terrible person.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. It's wild. Oh, I will say though, Random Task is just a phenomenal James Bond reference. Like it's just a great parody.
Yeah, odd job.
Yeah, Random Task. God, it's good.
That is so fantastic. But yeah, I just I go back to it with like Ohio State, Indiana, and Georgia are probably the three teams that are the most likely to do it. Indiana's got the easiest path, but like because Ohio State and Georgia have to effectively beat each other. But Indiana, like, you got to beat Texas Tech or Oregon, man. That's not easy either.
No, 100%. So I think we have the same teams, with just me plus Miami that can win a national championship. Just kind of like slight differences, but I would also say that like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think we also see that top three, whether with Indiana, Ohio State, and Georgia, whatever order you have them in. I think those are the three likeliest by far.
100%. Like it's probably going to be one of those three
Yeah, I
in
agree completely.
in all estimation here. And I don't think we need more time, but let's Euro check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yes, sir.
Our picks to win each of the four college football playoff first round games. We're gonna go in a chronological order, and there's no JLN. We're just there is JLN with Strange Bowls and Antonio, but we'll get to it a little bit.
Yes, sir.
So let's move to the Friday night game. This is the odds I checked last night. So number 9 Alabama is laying 1.5 at Oklahoma.
Hmm.
I'm going the Sooners again.
I'm also going the Sooners in this one. For me, it really comes down to the fact that if Indiana can't run the ball, Oklahoma's the worst matchup in the world for them. This is a defense that has carried this team to the college football playoff ostensibly. Like, it's certainly not John Mateer and Ben Arbuckle in this offense by any stretch of the imagination. And Brent Venables is coaching his ass off. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, this defense is playing out of its mind. A ton of talent. A lot of it you're going to see at the next level in the NFL. And when you face Alabama right now, you're making life easy on Oklahoma's defense. I'm not saying it's easy to cover Jeremy Bernard. I'm not saying it's easy to cover Ryan Williams. I'm not saying it's easy to stop Ty Simpson. What I'm saying is they have to defend one facet of the offense right now because you can keep 4 men in the box and defend the run because Alabama can't do anything against it. They cannot run the football. And this is the worst matchup for them to be able to face in that scenario.
Watching the SEC championship, cousin Ryan Williams is just so frustrating. It's like so talented, but It's like George Pickens if he was your cousin, dude.
It's I saw someone compare him to Markel Fultz the
Oh,
other
jeez.
day, where he's just like lost his confidence and like doesn't know how to play wide, which is like honestly like heartbreaking. Like that sucks.
And I think Georgia knew that. They took Jerry Bernard away from most of the game there too. Granted, their tight
100%.
end was out. And I'll say this, I'll give Mateer enough credit. He's a gamer too. Same with Type Simpson. They both are equal. Satania is good for about we don't talk enough about him and how like he's
He's the Deshaun Jackson you have at home.
yeah, he's he's good about two or three plays a game where you're like, why did we not cover him? He's making us pay.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, well, we're picking both of the Sooners to advance. And again, it could go either way. I'm just excited for this game on Friday.
No, it's going to be a good one. Like neither of these teams are capable of blowing the other out. I don't believe.
No, no, I would venture to guess the winner's gonna win by like 7 points or less.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's one possession for sure.
And it might be the same thing here with the Saturday early afternoon kick with number 10 Miami at number 7 Texas A&M. The Aggies are laying 3.5. I'm about the U.
I'm also about the U, man. Again, I'm the premier Texas Tech or Texas A&M hater apparently, but like I think that I saw everything I needed to see about Texas A&M in the Texas game. The first time they had to play a real opponent since Notre Dame, they got they got beat and they got beat pretty handily. Like I know it was only 10 points on the scoreboard, but like for most of that game, I felt like Texas was in pretty good control of it. I think Miami's better than Texas. I think Miami has the defense to really cause Marcel Reed problems. And when you pressure Marcel, like Marcel Reed is great at like improvising. Marcel Reed's still not great under pressure though. I don't trust his decision making under pressure. Granted, I don't trust Carson Beck's decision making under pressure either.
Yeah.
But I think I have a little more faith in Miami's defense than I do Texas A&M's, and that's really where I come down to it.
We should call this the Notre Dame Bowl sponsored by Peacock
100%.
and have Jack Collinsworth and Brady Quinn call it.
And have Ryan Day call out Lou Holtz in the middle of it. I want to know where Lou Holtz is because he's certainly not in bowl season.
The reason I'm leaning Miami here is I think Miami they have a little bit more urgency. I think A&M, when they get punched in the mouth, they kind of stagger. They've kind of got a glass jaw. This is what's been the A&M you and I have known since 2012, since they joined the SEC. This is kind of who they are. When nobody's paying attention to them, they'll put up a bunch of points on Duke in the Peach Bowl. Before that's a bowl of significance here. But this is Beck's last game potentially for in college, and I've always thought that with the way it ended for him in Georgia, and he gets a lot of flack here. He played his tail off for Georgia. It wasn't the best fit. I'll always give him credit for like what he did. He was a good teammate. He did everything that you wanted to do, but like it's hard to when you're sandwiched between Stetson Bennett and Gunnar Stockton. Life's hard, man.
Life's tough, man. I got to tell you, I have recently like had like some mental breakthroughs in terms of what I imagine. I know what Carson Beck sounds like. I've heard him talk, but like in my mind, he talks like the Monstar who took Sean Bradley's talent, where he's like, "Whoa, that hurt." Like that's how I just imagine Carson like goes through Carson Beck's head.
I'm not gonna say my Sean Bradley comment, but what a wonderful human being that had something horrible happen to him.
Yeah, 100%.
Um, Carson Beck.
Oh,
Uh,
that hurt. He throws the interception. That's just what's going on out there.
that's what he said when he got kicked out of Sandbar.
Yeah. That's what he said when he had a run in with the Cavender twins.
100%. But I think he's been preparing for this his whole life. I've always thought he's going to have one really, really, really good game in the playoff, and this is it. I also think Shannon Dawson's going to be a little bit more locked in than Conklin is, and also I think Shannon Dawson's a better offensive coordinator than Conklin.
Yeah.
And I also think that I don't think, for lack of a better word, Texas A&M's faced anybody like Malachi Tony yet.
No, God, no. There's not many people like Malachi Tony in college football.
No, like there's not there's different variations. It's like Jeremiah Smith's got this lemon as well. There's
Yeah.
also like a lesser extent Zachariah Branch for Georgia. It's like where is he? I need to get him. Where is he at all times?
Yeah.
Jerry Bernard, Ryan Williams. Like they have not really faced anybody like that. I think there's a chance that Miami wins by 10.
Honestly, the closest thing that I think they faced to that was Ryan Wingo, who had a hell of a game against him.
Yes, that's true. So we're on the same side of this,
And
and
Malachi Tony can catch better than Ryan Wingo. Ryan Wingo doesn't have hands, so there's that.
no, no, he doesn't. In the last two games, we probably know how it's gonna go. We got number 11 Tulane at number 6 Ole Miss with the Rebels laying 17 and a half. I think the Greenies cover, but I'm still gonna take Ole Miss to win.
I think Ole Miss covers. I understand why you would be down on Ole Miss. I just think they're a lot better, quite frankly. And I think that Tulane, like Jake Retzlaff is obviously like he's a former P4 quarterback. I'm not gonna like crap on his talent or anything like that, but like the talent of Tulane's roster as a whole is not what it has been in years past under John Summerall. And now, like I think he did a phenomenal coaching job to get Tulane to this point. But having said that, now that he's wearing, the house divided hat, like I'm worried about what that looks like when you're faced up like when you're at a severe talent disadvantage. And yeah, I think that this is probably like a 21-point game.
Yeah, I think Pete Golding had a house divided half, but it wasn't divided like this. It was divided like this.
That's
And
right.
it was like a an Ole Miss visor and a it is the holiday season, a Crimson Tide yarmulke. He took it off.
That's right.
Yeah, but then the last game, the game that we're going to be coming to you semi-live, 3 yards in a cloud, a punt after over or whenever we decide it's time. We got the number 12 James Madison Dukes at the number 5 Oregon Ducks. The Ducks are laying 21 and a half. It'd be funny if if JMU covered, but Oregon's got this in the bag.
Yeah, I mean, like the idea of a backdoor cover isn't out of the realm of possibility, but yeah, Oregon's winning this by a lot. Like
So
we might start recording in the third quarter. It's a non-zero chance.
yeah, so based on this, we would have Oklahoma playing Indiana in the Rose Bowl.
Mhm.
We would have Miami playing Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. We would have Ole Miss playing Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, and we would have Oregon playing Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl.
Miami, Ohio State's juicy.
Yeah, dude.
That's a fun game.
Probably a little more enticing, honestly, than Ohio State, Texas A&M, if I'm to be honest with you.
Yeah, I like the idea of Miami's defensive front matching up against an offensive line that is suspect has my ears perked up.
Miami is really good in the trenches. They got
Mhm.
what's it Mafonga, I think it's the guy, offensive lineman
Yeah,
or something like that.
Maui Goa.
Maui Goa, and then you've got Bain, and then you got Misador, I think. Whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm really struggling with the names. Ruben with the U in the wrong place is really messes.
Ruben with the U, brother. I literally was talking to the NC State podcast about this. I was like, can people learn how to spell names? Like, do we need universal spellings of these names? Because as much as we have to write them out, it drives me insane.
It's hard, man. But nothing is harder or goes harder than Antonio Banderas during
Damn
bowl
right.
season.
Damn right.
Strange bowls. Here we come with Antonio. We're going to recap the two bowls that have happened. We're going to preview like five that are going to be happening before we record next, I think.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the Bucked Up LA Bowl. I was again you talked about Cousin Demond playing for a lot of people. He's like, "Are you not entertained?" And nobody was there.
Yeah, right. It's an empty coliseum.
What I didn't tell you was the reason that Antonio wanted to go to this bowl is he wanted to fight Gronk, the big chicken on the roof, and that's where we all were.
Of course, of course.
And it was everything you could imagine that was like in the old school basement in the Jello wrestling, the lube wrestling match.
R.I.P. Blue. You know.
You're my boy Blue, and Purple reigned then, and not the Boise State Broncos.
Correct. That is correct.
And then it was an unhappy birthday there in Montgomery last night for the I don't know I think Troy won or Jacksonville State won. It was close.
Jacksonville State ended up winning that one.
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently they were rivals. They hadn't played for 24 years,
I
so
didn't know that. Okay. I mean, it makes sense, obviously, geographically, but I did not know that that was a thing.
yeah. Unhappy birthday. Antonio walked into the locker room afterwards with a cake, and they it smelled really bad because it had been in the suitcase, and they just threw up all over the locker room. It was gross.
I didn't throw up all over themselves. So,
They were like, That was very Montgomery of them.
Yeah, we did educate Antonio. We took him to some civil rights hotspots, and he's enlightened now, so that's good.
Yeah, his mind was completely blown. I've never seen him more politically conscious in my entire life,
It went
which
away
is
quickly. Don't worry.
yeah, and it's going away right now ahead of the Ventures Bowl down in Mobile.
That's right.
God, we got a Louisiana versus Delaware. Okay, barbarism begins at home. Barbarism begins at Antonio's suitcase.
100%. Yeah. The cake has left a stench, to say the least.
The worst part is he got so enlightened about civil rights and being a good person, he couldn't understand what a blue hen was. He's like blue chicken.
Blue chicken. Yeah, absolutely. And like I picked Delaware in this game. Like that's who I have winning this game. I think
Me
Delaware
too.
is motivated with making the jump to FCS to FBS, winning their first FBS bowl game. Having said that, Antonio's not on our side because as we talked about in the Bucked Up LA Bowl, he's about fighting chickens. So I'm scared for Joe Flacco. I'm scared for everyone in a Delaware uniform and a Delaware merch, honestly.
I think
Not that I expect there to be a lot in Mobile, Alabama, but
he went up to you beforehand, but we told him like, as we were painting ourselves blue, he was not. He painted himself red because he's seeing red. He goes up to you, stares you right in the face, and he says, "I am Antonio Banderas, the Cajun Beast."
and he tried to carve a Zorro Z in my chest, but I was like, no, no, no.
No, no, he's been bathing in a Cajun seasoning for a day.
Smells like a Popeyes.
His eyes look like the people who work there, man. Just going through it. Yeah. I got Delaware on this game, but Antonio's got Louisiana. So we'll see how that
100%.
goes. That's another word that I really struggle typing out. It's not fun for me.
Louisiana.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Hey, look, the dumbest typo that I consistently make is whenever I type Baker Mayfield, I type Bakery Mayfield every time, and I don't know why. I guess I'm just hungry.
When I type Dallas, there's Dalas. It's like halal. It's not
It's
fun.
like Mississippi.
That one bothers me too. The worst was back when I was on the Braves beat when I first started. I couldn't type one Uribe. I just kept typing one urine, one urine.
1 urine. That sounds like an autocorrect, but I know it's not.
No, it wasn't, and it's not autocorrect. We have the bowl here going on tomorrow with the Xbox Bowl, Missouri State versus Arkansas State, and I believe that's in that's in Jerry World, isn't it? It's our
Oh
Frisco.
yeah, this is the one in Frisco, baby.
This is when I was really excited. The reason he wanted to go there is because we told him that it's in the star of Frisco, so Jerry Jones is there. And I told him he got confused. He thinks Butch Jones is Jerry Jones. He's going to be in for a rough one.
Oh God, it would make more sense if he thought he was Stephen Jones, like Jerry's son, but because he knows Jerry, like him and Jerry are boys. But no, he's gonna be in for a rude awakening because Butch is nothing like the rest of the Joneses. Let me tell you.
We got a Petrino coach in this game on the sidelines there for the Bears, man.
That's
He's
right.
We got a Petrino coaching the Missouri State Bears in the Xbox Bowl. This our Frisco with Antonio Banderas here. We are living in a simulation.
Yeah, man. I you forgot that what we had to tell Antonio. Like when he heard it was the Xbox Bowl, he thought that this was just going to be like an Xbox tournament. Like he didn't think this was an actual bowl game. He thought it was just people playing video games.
He told me he's not going to say bulldog because he understands what a bear is, and bears are scary. And he's trying to find a coping mechanism. And the only thing that he says for all of his antics is he goes, "Big mouth strikes again."
That's right.
uh, Shout out. We went to El Ponce and like looked at the side like with the Richie Valens. It's Morrissey. It's
It's just Morris. I don't know what to tell you.
that place is a lot of no thoughts, no headaches. People that work there, they forgot to give us silverware. And I'm like, we need. It's like, can I get some silverware? They give me one. I'm like, no, we need two. They hand me three. I'm like, are you stupid?
I mean, that's just customer service at its finest, is what I think.
This is the kind of stuff that like people that have like unserious names like Tolton and Brixley, like this is what they're gonna do in life. Like you can't possibly become a senator. You can't even give me silverware. Give me a break.
My name's Haley with an EIGH, and Braylon's gonna be your server.
Oh. We're gonna have corn dogs, aren't we? Um,
Undercooked corn dogs for sure.
and I'm gonna take Arkansas State to win this game.
Yeah, I like Butch Jones in a bowl game.
Hell yeah, he's gonna be sobbing on the field, and Antonio's gonna be like, "That's an Oscar for your idiots."
He got.
All right, we got three more coming up. We got to talk about. We got on Friday. We're going to Conway, South Carolina for the Myrtle Beach Bowl. We got Kennesaw State versus Western Michigan. The Smith song we're going to be having is "Shoplifters of the World Unite" because people are going to be taking stuff from the wings.
Puka shell necklaces stolen everywhere.
Um, Antonio, like he wants to go to the bowls. He wants to go places that are low class because he's low class because he says he doesn't have to behave. He's like, oh, behave. He's like, no, behave.
No way. Yeah, he also said that I asked him if he wanted an airbrush t-shirt and he just wants to get airbrushed. Like he's gonna just lay down on the airbrush t-shirt thing and just God knows what he's gonna get on himself.
He's gonna get Jerry Mack's face on his chest. He's picking Kennesaw because again, this is the only chicken that he likes.
100%. It's a night chicken.
And he actually thinks Lance Taylor's a horse. He also doesn't know the difference between Lance Taylor and Aaron Taylor. It's really confusing and bad for everybody involved.
Yeah, it's not good. Not good at all.
And on that note, I'm going to take Western Michigan to win. I think that they're going to be really good next year. They're going to be good this year.
Yeah, I like Western. I think this is one of the better like early bowl games. So I think this is probably going to be the best game that we see like this week.
100%. And,
Outside of
and
the college football playoff, to be very clear.
which is our next game. And on Saturday, we're going to be going to Oxford, Mississippi for Tulane at Ole Miss. This isn't a bowl game. This is a playoff game, baby. And the Smith song is "I Know It's Over" because they're having new head coaches next year. Both promotions are within. How dumb is this?
It's gonna be I'm excited to see what Antonio is gonna be doing. We haven't broken the news to him that Lane Kiffin's not gonna be there, and he's gonna be like heartbroken when we tell him.
The last time we were in the Grove, he tried to climb a tree.
Yeah.
And
And it's probably gonna happen again.
he's going to stay up there like Marky Bark.
He's gonna stay out there like the kids and Angels in the outfield watching the game at the beginning.
JP can come too.
That's right.
And obviously we've already picked this game. We're both going with Ole Miss
Yeah.
very heavily.
Yeah.
And then our last one on Monday, the 22nd, because the next show may not be out before we finish recording or whatever it is. The famous Idaho Potato Bowl, Washington State versus Utah State, and not going to beat around the bush here. It's about carbs, and some girls are bigger than others.
That's right, man. I mean, it's potatoes. You gotta get your starch in.
I do like that. That's one of my favorite Smith songs, by the way.
100%. It's a good song.
Um, Antonio is decided that we're going to go up there because he's going to open, his own Pinchos restaurant, tapas food.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, how are you going to do this in Boise, Idaho? And he's like, have you been to an Arby's before? And I'm like, yes.
Steak nuggets. Let's go.
That is the date I had to take the NC State podcast, or next time, like the four of us are meeting, we're going to treat Arby's like a tapas restaurant.
That sounds incredible.
Rosie's game. I don't know if that's game.
Nat's gonna pitch a fit, but I'll just lie to her and tell her we're going somewhere else.
Who would behave themselves better than Arby's, Huron or Amos?
Huron, clearly. Remus isn't like I love him to death. He's an asshole. He's a huge asshole.
In life, there are Benjis and Hurons, and then there are Izzy's and Remuses. Just know that.
Yes.
Yeah, Antonio is going to make his own tapas restaurant. He thinks he could dye the potatoes blue with the turf, and I'm like, that's not going to work. He just said bulldog.
Bulldog. I mean, blue potatoes. And maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Most likely doesn't, quite frankly.
I don't even know if anybody's going to win this game. I guess I'm going to go with Utah State because Washington State's kind of crestfallen at this point.
Yeah, give me Broncos, big bad boys. That's what
Yeah.
we're going with.
Oh yeah, the School of Survival. I forgot about that too.
Yeah.
Antonio's been reading a lot. He learned about civil rights. Now he's learning about the Irish potato famine. He's going to go to the Bronco Mendenhall School of Survival. And then he's going to take him to the Bronco Mendenhall a five-star restaurant, which is Arby's.
Yeah, I mean, like that's really the inspiration behind the tapas restaurant, if we're being honest, is like he wants to show that he can survive in a tapas restaurant in Boise, Idaho.
And I mean, if there are tapas restaurants, which I would venture to guess, there's probably a few good ones, to be honest.
Probably. Probably. We can ask Ian Levy. He might know.
Ian Levy, have you ever been to a tapas restaurant before?
That's right.
When we have our fan side meet up in his backyard, we're gonna tell his wife Taryn, you're running a tapas restaurant.
That's right.
Oliver and Amelia, how do you feel about being a server?
Career path set out for you already.
You and I both know one of them will comply, the other one will not comply. We just don't know which
100%.
one.
100%.
Speaking about not complying, let's get out here with some local scouting reports.
Yes, sir.
Cody's been in Nashville. I've been in Atlanta. You've got two things, and I had a third thing come up.
You start since you've got three.
Okay, so the palate cleanser. So the reason I was not able to be on the show on Monday's episode for Sunday with the Diego Pavia one is we did early Buhler family Christmas. My sister and brother-in-law are going to be going up to Massachusetts, where he's from, for Christmas. So we went to Jilly Bean's house and did Christmas there. Jilly Bean had COVID for a while. She's bounced back. She's doing
Good.
she's doing good now. But because we did Christmas on like the 14th, I had to go shopping. My first Saturday off since getting engaged.
Okay.
The Arizona State podcast had to work. We're a one car household. The Bueller Jeep at the dust. Rest in peace. Pour it
I
out.
saw the video of it getting towed, man. It was tough.
It was tough. When the ABS says it's not going to work,
That's not. It's time to go, but that's happening, brother.
Star Fox with Macbeth, like I can't stop it. It's basically like that.
That's. Oh God.
There's a certain age group of people that would get that joke, and
100%.
if you were born from 86 to 94, you might know that. That's about it.
It's a very specific demographic.
Yeah, we're right there. So I had to go buy some stuff, and again, I don't have a car, so I'm walking in and around all of Virginia Highlands, and there's one place I went to. I'm like, okay, I got to finish getting stuff here, and I'm not going to say the name of the place because I don't want Rosemary to know.
Yeah.
There's like a little boutique place in and around our neighborhood, and it's one of those like shops, like local, like buy local.
Yeah.
You walk inside, it's maybe about a dozen feet wide, several more deep. And I go up there and I get my 4 or 5 items. And there's like a long checkout line. So like really on top of each other. There's these two middle-aged gentlemen. One of them has kid you not, a 5 foot long Santa hat.
Mm.
Where like the little goofball is like back of his knee.
Okay.
Like I wanted to punch that guy in the throat so he could never talk again because he kept talking. He was talking to the guy in front of them about God knows what, and I'm holding like 4 or 5 things, and it's not a light load. The guy is still talking, and the cashier's like, "Hey, can you do this?" He's like, "Hold on," and then he doesn't know how to use the credit card with like the microchip on it.
Mm. That's tough.
So that
That's
that
a
took
tough
another
look.
that took another 5 minutes. My transaction took 45 seconds, and then I walked home, and I'm like, "Okay, that was the first place I went to today. Let's get a grip, man. It's only like 12:30."
We've got to pull it together as a community right now.
So a little bit later, I went to PetSmart. I had to get presents for Izzy and Benji. Izzy's my sister's dog, the Pity mix. Benji's my dad's dog, the German Shepherd mix. Benji doesn't do toys; he just does treats. Izzy gets a toy and a treat. I got her the cutest little Zero, the dog from Night Before Christmas. But
Yeah.
it's all crinkly. She loved that.
Hell yeah.
She always does the same thing. She grabs the toy, runs around the house, goes on the couch, and then just chews it. She's been doing this since she's a puppy. She's 5 now. This is what she does.
Izzy and Remus are very similar because Remus does the same thing. He takes it outside, gives it a good shake, and then comes back inside, lays on the couch, and chews on it.
So I'm at PetSmart. I'm like looking for my 4 items, and I see people walking in there with their dogs. Apparently, you can meet Santa in the back, which I'm like,
Oh yeah.
that dude must hate himself.
He either hates his life or loves it. It's one of the two. There's no in between. Like there's no like he's not just going about his day. There's no chance of that being the case.
So there's different dogs walking, and there's like a very like skittish or a very aware Boston Terrier, like all Boston Terriers are.
Mhm.
There's like just a big dumb golden retriever walking in. He's great. And then there's like a pity mix, but this one's more like Izzy's more like a lab,
Yeah.
whereas this guy's kind of more like a bulldog. He's just beef meat up front.
Oh
He's
yeah.
pulling on his harness. Like he's kind of like Remus. Like, should we really bring him inside here? But I guess we're gonna do it.
Should we really have him in public?
So she's gonna go back to see Santa, and I go to checkout, and I go up to the front. The interface is not working.
Mm.
Because it's basically like if you're a returning member, like it just does like the circle of death, but I'm
Yeah.
not because I don't have dogs.
Right.
The two guys checking me out are checking out the front were they could have been the Wayans brothers.
Okay. Okay.
They were doing a good job, but they also didn't want to give there. Didn't want to be there. As I'm checking out, the lady with the aggressive puglet pity, whatever it is, comes to the front, and she's like, "Can I take this off the rack? Is there a place I can change?" And she's like, "What?" It's like, "I want to see if my dog can fit in this dog sweater." And the guy looked like he's just like, "Whatever, man."
I hate you people.
So I went home after that and did a few more things, but that was kind of that was my Christmas shopping there. That was my first story.
Hell yeah. All right. So I'm gonna start on Friday morning, day before the wedding. We went a little hard on Thursday night. Excited to be there. Excited to be with everyone. We were all sharing like a group of Airbnb. So it was like 20 of us all staying down there and hanging out. Um, the NC State podcast wanted to go get coffee the next morning, so we went to a little coffee shop. Thing I didn't say about these Airbnbs, they were right next to Vanderbilt. Didn't see Diego Pavia, unfortunately, but we were right next to Vanderbilt. So we walked to this coffee shop and didn't really think about it. But Friday morning at 10 a.m., a lot of Vanderbilt students in this coffee shop. I know we talk about Vanderbilt as like a prestigious academic institution. Based on these people, there's no shot. Um, I don't think of the 30 people that were like in a place that probably had a capacity limit of 36. I don't think like half of them had ever ordered coffee before. They asked literally the person in front of us got asked, "What type of milk do you want in your coffee or in your latte?" And he said, "They put milk in a latte." And I was like, "Oh my, what are we doing here?" The girls behind us were talking about what they were going to order food wise. And I like, they mentioned something that had chicken. And I was like, "Is that on the menu?" And she proceeded to say, "No, but I think they can make it for me." And I was like, "I don't think that's how this works at all." And so, like, it was one of the most frustrating coffee experiences I've ever had, especially because I was deeply hungover while all of this was happening and I needed caffeine in a very bad way. And uh, the moral of the story is Vanderbilt might not be the academic institution that we thought it was.
It's an SEC school, man. And did you walk across Broadway to the Parthenon and to contemplate your entire life?
I thought about it, except I was deeply hungover and walking anymore seemed terrible. So
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Diego Pavi is about to be a doctor, so that's good.
yes.
That's unbelievable. So the second one of the day of Bueller family Christmas, the Sunday. So the Arizona State's podcast mom loves to send us stuff that we don't need. It's just, we're trying to play the wedding. It's like send us a gift card. It's like here's something that like we're never gonna use.
Hey, it's the thought that counts? Question mark.
Yeah, it's fine. So we got this thing that we didn't need from Target, and we've just not been going to Target this year for social reasons. Also, the one by our house is frightening, so maybe we don't. Our life has improved in a very rough 2025 for me. Like
There we go.
that's been a positive. So we go to the Target up by my mom's house, right by my high school.
Yeah.
Just like oh, really nice super Target. This is going to be great.
Mm.
5
Super
minutes
Target
away.
slap, man.
Yeah. We were told to go to this one as opposed to the other one by my rival high school. And
Okay.
we go in there and we exchange the gift, totally fine. We buy some groceries. We're like, okay, let's get some, meats, coffee creamer, a couple of vegetables, nothing spices, nothing too out of the ordinary. We go and check out, and the lady who's checking us out is like going through, taking a sweet time, bagging everything. That's fine. We get to like a cucumber, and she's like, "What is this?" And we're like, "This is a cucumber." And then we go up there, there's like a sweet potato. It's like, "What's this?" Like, "That's a sweet potato." And then it's onion. She's like, "What's this?" And it's like she could have been Jamaican or whatever, but it was just like I don't know. Maybe they practice lobotomy in Kingston, but because Jesus Christ.
The education, man. Y'all were educators that day.
Yeah, it was the three of the most basic vegetables you can see. She just couldn't figure it out.
The cucumber is the worst one for sure. Like, how you don't know what a cucumber is?
Well, she didn't. So what's your second one?
So I'm gonna go. I think I mentioned it. I'm gonna go into more detail about the chicken story. I don't even know if I told the whole story on the podcast, but the rehearsal dinner on Friday evening was at Hattie B's as a Nashville staple. Great place to have a rehearsal dinner. The food, general food, was phenomenal. Man, we had two different spice levels of chicken, and then a naked chicken for people who can't handle any spice. Is medium and mild, so like no one was sweating too bad or anything like that. Mac and cheese, sweet tea, lemonade, the whole works. Like it was well set up, and I was enjoying myself. Then one of the servers starts walking around, and it's with a plate of shut the cluck up. Now, for the starters who don't know what shut the cluck up is, that is Hattie B's hottest level of chicken that they have. They advertise it. Excuse me. Honestly, I think it might be a reason I'm sick, quite frankly. Um, they advertise it at over 1 million Scovilles. For those who want some reference there, that's hotter than the ninth wing on Hot Ones. Um, it lived up to it because the NC State podcast looked at me and goes, "Do you want to do it?" And I said, "No, but I will." And so what I didn't realize was when she took her piece of chicken and I took mine, I thought, okay, we're doing this. It's just like it's a little piece of chicken, maybe that big. I just shoved the whole thing in my mouth and ate it. She took a little baby bite, which is probably what I should have done. I didn't. And I was struggling to breathe for like 30 seconds. As soon as I swallowed it, it was just instant, just like heat. I thought my throat was swelling up. Like it was awful. And I'm like after 30 seconds of trying to learn how to breathe again, I like, oh, I should probably look and check on my wife, see how she's doing. She has tears just rolling down her face immediately. I look over across at another table. One thing I think I did mention this. This wedding was attended by a lot of Alabama fans because a lot of the family is from Demopolis, Alabama. Shouts to Demopolis.
Yeah.
uh, there's one of the bride's cousins also did it, and she is just yelling in the thickest country accent I've ever heard in my entire life. Oh my God, this is so hot. Oh. And she had to like walk outside into the winter air of Nashville to like cool off because she was about to have a heat stroke from these wings. And I truly can't describe how hot it was, man. Like they brought around like little bowls of little cups of vanilla ice cream to like, get the lactose in there to cool it off. It didn't help at all. It literally didn't do anything. I ate an entire bowl of ice cream and it did nothing. I was still on fire. Um, it did not subside for an hour and a half. It was one of the most brutal experiences I've ever had in my entire life. Thankfully, I did not experience it on the back end, so that's good.
Thankfully, you're not an Alabama fan because the tears are streaming down your face like fix you.
Yeah, one like half story that I will share real quick. As I mentioned, my beautiful friends had the SEC championship and then the ACC championship game playing at the reception on a big projector, which was awesome. I recommend that all your friends do that if they get married on a Saturday during college football season. The Alabama game somehow got turned off about midway through it. I don't know how that happened.
That's too bad. There's a lot of people that are big Who's down in Whoville and Tukey's fans.
That's right.
And the last one kind of flies in pretty good with Dookie here. I'm just gonna say it now. Uh, so we're dog sitting Lucy the Greyhound. She's over here. She's sleeping.
Oh.
Um, there's having some toilet issues here. There's always something dog sitting. We were dog sitting in Midtown before, which if there was a Nirvana song for it, it's all apologies. It's actually no apologies. Everyone's gay. Just like no one in Midtown cares. We saw some dude riding a scooter just completely wasted, just probably crashing. I'm like, it's right in front of where we're staying with the ones that like to burrow and the one who barks their food at 4 in the morning.
And to be clear, for anyone who's not aware of Atlanta, Midtown has a very large gay population. Like
Yes.
that's not Bueller making like
No.
some slur. Like it is. There's rainbow crosswalk. Like it is truly a gay hub.
Yes. I'm not being mean. There's also like, not just that, but like it's a place where like people will be confrontational with me too.
Oh yeah, Midtown is a different world.
Yeah. Um, so we're here, we're not there. We're here now, like the guy from Austin Powers. And this is, a townhouse. There's like upstairs. She doesn't go upstairs. She got her joints hurt.
Mm.
So you got the master bedroom, the guest room we're in, and you got the powder room downstairs. Two of the toilets are not cooperating right now.
Mm.
And I take pride in myself being able to fix the toilet. There's just some stuff that's a little bit yeah.
Above your pay grade.
A little bit. So the one downstairs, we're using it and it was like running a little bit, and I'm like, okay, I'm like, let's kind of be careful with that. I kind of move like the pump up and down, everything like that. It's kind of messing with like the lever on the side. So like,
Mm.
okay, we basically have to take the tank off every time you flush it.
Mm.
It's been really great.
Mm. Yeah, that's what you want.
And after I told the Arizona State podcast, like this one's running. She goes upstairs in the guest bathroom, and the lever up there is not pretty great. Snapped off.
Oh no, that's bad. That's real bad.
And I was trying to look at it like we could still use it, right? And it's like the pump's going up and down, and I'm like, please stop. Like 5 minutes before the show's going on, I'm like, I can't do this. I'm like, maybe I'll just start taking a shower every time and piss. I don't know. I'm only here for like one more night. I'm not proud of myself, but like it's like the early 2000s sort of townhome
Mm.
thing.
Oh yeah.
The stuff's starting to fall apart. So
Indoor plumbing has not come as far as it probably should, quite frankly.
no.
There's been a lot of advances in the modern world. Indoor plumbing is not really one of them.
There's been a lot of advances in the modern world, just like this was episode 236 of False Start. I don't know if it's advanced or it's like that, but you can follow me, John Buhler, on Twitter at X at Buhler118. You can follow Cody Williams at the Sizzle20. You can follow the show at CFP False Start. Like, rate, listen, subscribe, review on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere there's podcasts. Give us a 5-star review. This is the longest show we've ever done.
It's a long one. It's okay.
It's a long one, and it doesn't stink though. That's
That's right.
good.
It's not like Antonio's suitcase by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, his suitcase is might as well be Narnia.
The Lion, the Witch, and Antonio's suitcase.
And this is false start.